What's up, guys? This is Aggro. A lot of guys asked me to do a guide for Enhancement Shaman, which I actually plan to do in the near future. I've never done anything like it before, so I should just do this one as a bit of practice. It's not a real guide, it's a dungeon commentary run. So it's not for complete beginners of the spec. I would not recommend it for you if you're completely new to Shaman. You can still learn something, of course, but I'm not going to go over the basics of the spec. It's more suited for somewhat advanced players or people that want to go into M+ more proficiently. What I did here is a 16 puck Floodgate. We did one run before, but we failed it. But the key is resilient, so we try again. I know the routes and the pulls a bit now, so I have a rough idea what this tank is going to pull and how. This helps a lot in terms of tempest planning. But it's of course not the perfect key, so stuff will go wrong. I've had to think a lot of how to send my tempests and where to keep them and stuff, and when to pop cooldowns. Oh, it's not the cleanest run, but I think it doesn't have to be for you. It's probably even more helpful if it's just a somewhat clean run. And you can see how you can improve your puck handling, basically, how you play enhancement in a puck when you don't have the perfect setups and whatever. So we go into it. I will not talk about all basic stuff, just talk a bit about more advanced stuff. Not going to comment every global, but a bit of cooldown popping and decision making. You should be familiar with this, but I can just mention it here. You should always play the spec with a Tempest tracker. If you don't want to track your Tempest progress, then just play Totemic. It's not worth it. If you don't play around Tempest, this spec is not good, and not going to learn anything here, because that's the thing I will mostly cover, how to handle your Tempest. So you proc 1 with Awakening Storm, the upper number of on the turnip. Keep your tracker low, so your next Maelstrom spend will give you another Tempest. Usually want to start with Ascendance pre-pull, so you have Maelstrom for the first pull already, but it's not too important. This is already getting kinda close, this is the annoying part on pucks, but we managed to do it in time. You have to extend it inside this bubble. If you do it after the bubble, the progress on your next Tempest is reset already, so it's fucked. So you have to absolutely make sure to get your second stack in the bubble. Then we're going into a pull. It's a DH tank without spirit bombs, so aggro will be an issue. What I usually want to start with is letting the tank get aggro a bit, not insta blast, but get out like a chain, 2 chain lightnings or 3, to get a progress towards your third tempest already, and let the tank get aggro, also get out some lightning rods. It's getting tight though, so my tempest doesn't have a lot of duration, so I decide to just send it, basically. Sending here means I pop my stuff, could have done it a little global later. And those bigger pulls, every time you have tempests, you want to start with P-Wave, actually. This is not well known, because people didn't think about it too much, but what P-Wave does is apply rods to all of your Flame Shock targets as well. This is really insane for Tempest damage. Or it is really insane when you have Tempest prep, because every rod target takes 10% of your total Tempest damage. If you have Tempest pre-stacked, this is going to be a lot of damage on those rod targets. And those rod targets, every rod target is also one of the mobs that potentially gives you a slap. Those are the ones that you get aggro off. It's usually not the main target. At least if your tank is aware, he knows what you're hitting, so this target is usually safe, but any other rod target can be a potential threat rip. So I blast my P-Waves out. Then I try to get out the Tempest as fast as possible. I send one. I didn't get an insta-refund. If you get an insta-refund, you will just want to send a second as well. It's getting tight, so I have to pop Ascendance now. Extend with Wind Strike, blast the Chain Lightning, the Arc Discharge extends the Tempest duration, so you're fine. Only had one so far. Usually you can get a lot more if you delay your, like, one save more if you delay your popping a bit. So I had to pop. I only have one now. Get my second a bit later, and the third one afterwards. This is when I want to pop my Doomins, after I sent this one. This is when I popped it. It doesn't matter that I had a proc before. it extends the duration, which is good. I had 3 wolves on my Doomwinds, so my Doomwinds just does a lot of extra damage. And I popped my Peace Bomb as late as possible to actually get one more Tempest out as well. I got a 5th one coming in here too, but I cannot make it in time. So what I do is, I think I crashed here. Yeah, I crashed just to have my Maelstrom 100% safe on full stack, so I can send it with my Peace Storm. And that's also when you might see it's getting really dangerous for me. So I popped the Peace Storm. I got a 10 million melee here. Holy shit. And I had the fuck out. That's a bit of an issue with our spec queue. It is really hard. If your tank is not playing Spirit Bomb, it is, and is a DH, it is really hard to send your full setup and get maximum DPS. Because you just rip threat from a lot of targets this way. But it's alright. This is, fun enough, this is our biggest damage limit. That we are not able to fully blast everything. Alright, the pole is dying. I should have sent another P-Wave here. Because it still had a bit of HP, like 10% when it got ready. It dies slowly now, the people are not even hitting fully anymore, and now we wait. So, yeah, should have set another Peace Storm. We go in the next pole. I don't really like the setup here. So I'm a bit confused on what we are doing. But it is what it is. Try to get a focus on one of the Surveyor. Always want to kick that. And now I'm a bit alone on the Fortnite guide, which makes me unhappy. So my setup is a bit scuffed and a bit delayed. As you can see, I'm sitting on my Tempest. I blasted out one because I would have overcapped. I pop my Flame Shocks out again, then my P-Wave, and then blast my Tempest. That's the basic idea again. Before I have my Doomwinds, I already have 3 Tempests running. That's really great. If your Tempest, if the P-Wave is not coming up, you can just send your Tempests. Doesn't really matter what you do with them. But if you see that your P-Wave is getting up soon, you should just try to hold and bank a few Tempests. Now we get 2 up ready, just perfect in time. But yeah, the pack is almost dead already, so it was not that insane anymore. Didn't get a lot of rod value there because all the rod targets died anyway. This ball I wasn't sure what exactly we do. I should have definitely focused the crabs here fully. Because we're not going to chain them. So we're just hitting those mobs for quite a while. This is something you will experience often in the park run. This should never happen in a coordinated team. But yeah, even there it can happen sometimes. So just hit them. I tried to pull Tempests already. Can definitely send out one more here. I think I will do that. I'm not sure. It's just a bit annoying. No, I'm just pulling again with Chain Lightning. So I'm pretty stacked for the next pull. I have everything ready. 2 Tempests banked. Progress towards the next is already there. I can get more progress here on those divers while he does set up the next pull. I sent one out because I would overcap it this way. Now I have 2 ready. The next one is coming in with with Waking Storms. I'm not sure if I wasted. No, I did not. I sent one out, so I do not waste it. The pack is still not really stacked, so I cannot pop P-Wave. I get hooked there. I did not expect that. I'm not 9 of this one. Okay, the pull is stacked now. Spreading my Flame Shocks. Popping P-Wave. Sending out Tempest. Pop Ascendance. Just spam some Wind Strikes. Send out Tempest. Fill the Maelstrom up with Crash. Pop another Tempest. Then you can send your Doomwinds. Crash. Some more. And could have delayed the Peace Storm a little bit more, but I did it safe. This is the idea. So this one, I think here I pop another P-Wave because I know that next pull is going to take a bit of setup. I could have kept it. It's a 20%, people would think, huh, what the fuck. But it's 30 seconds cooldown, right? It will not die. So I pop it. Tank needs to set it up anyway. I cannot fully blast from the start. Try to find my survey. This is marked already, so I take the other one. So I'm on. This is the moment where I could have popped. Now I have 10 seconds left on P-Wave. It is not optimal, but it is alright for a pack run. This is dangerous. I should have sent a Tempest there. Now I'm sitting on 2 Awakening Storm Strikes. I could have potentially wasted one, but I got lucky. Sending out 3 Tempests into this Lightning Rod even without Ascendance. A 4th one. I think the rod's dropped by that. Popping Doomwinds then on 4 Woes. And blasting. This rod is quite good for my CDs, I would say, because my Ascendance is coming back up in time for the boss. You want your ultimate trinket most of the times if you're playing House of Cards. There are some situations where you can pop it in between. If you're having pump ready, when it's ready, you can pop it in between, but usually on bosses it would be good if you have it up when your Ascendance comes up. So I'm pooling my Tempests again on those 2 guys. I don't want to oversend. I see that PI is ready, so I'm hoping, really hoping I'm getting it. Spoiler, I do not. So this is a great setup again. I got 2 Tempests running. Once I spend one, I get a 3rd one. And the 4th one with Awakening Storm is also close to coming. So I pop my Peace Wave before, so both has rods, I take extra damage from the Tempest. Pop my cooldowns. 2 targets is actually the most annoying for enhancement, because you're not auto-sending Tempests, but you're also not getting enough Maelstrom to actually sustain yourself. This can be really dangerous. In 2 targets, if you don't get lucky with the refunds, I show again, you might have to send your P-Storm early. I always gamble it that I get out my Tempest before, but it's really close. And you see that just before I got a refund. So I actually get to 10 Maelstrom. Otherwise I would have fucked it. I play this very greedy most of the times, because if you're not sending P-Storm with 10 stacks, then you'll lose a lot of damage. It happens to me way too often. You might think I'm a professional, but I'm just greedy, I guess. This fight is a bit weird. You don't have to min-max cleave damage on it, because the small guy has less HP than the big guy. So you should always just try to send your stuff on the big one. It means also trying to send some lightning bolts onto it when it's outside, while you're hitting the small guy, is something you should aim to do, because the small guy will die anyway. I'm not a big fan of the mechanics of this fight, because the charges and everything always overlaps with some ground zones. So it's not a nice fight for melees. You cannot aim the guy from melee because he charges behind you. He does not charge the full distance. He charges like 6 till 10 yards behind from where you stood when he started to charge. It can be annoying to aim it as a melee if you're not going to hit the far bombs if you bait it just outside of melee range.
Clear.
So this in single target or 2 targets, not really important to have Tempest when you pop your P-Storm. This is more of a AOE thing, I would say. Now I'm trying to pull Tempest already for my Ascendance, I think. So I should Chain Lightning here. I should have Chain it even if he was not in melee. My Crash didn't hit here. I did complain. Unfortunate. Oh, I wasted 1 Tempest here. I'm not sure why I did that. It was not a good decision, because I still want to pop my cooldowns. So this way, it was not good. I delayed it. I should have just insta-popped there. Like, I'm waiting so long, the fight is dead already. I still decide to pop though, since we take a long walk after this, because I know the route. But in general, I should have just kept the first Tempest and popped earlier. This was a bad idea. And this one, this Wind Strike, maybe you should have not sent it, because this is your only chance on not being dry on next pull, is to stop spending here. Boss is dead. This Wind Strike was not needed. I should have kept it. Now I procced my Tempest, and I cannot make use of it. Like, of course I sent it on him, but it did nothing. So now I'm dry for the next pull. This is the worst scenario for you. Going dry into a next pull. It'd be a lot better if I was able to keep my stuff there, but I didn't think about it. So this is some pug route thing. This waiting simulator, it is simply not good. It is alright for this key level, surely. But it's not good in general, and not good for your shaman. Even if I had a Tempest running, I would have lost it. The only thing I could have done was I'm preparing my Tempest progress. Now he doesn't even hit them properly, so I cannot build on them. Just have to wait. I'm really unsure on how to handle this on this boss. I should have popped Doom Winds a bit earlier. Here I'm sitting on it for way too long duration. I know, I just entered this fight. Want to build up at least one Tempest before I send my P-Wave to at least do a bit of damage with it. This is the issue if you're dry. If you're dry, you always want Tempests on your P-Wave, especially in a pole like this. It's insane value. But there's two problems, like either your P-Wave is not going to do much, or you're sitting on it for too long. On this part, I think I should have just sent it instantly, because my progress was so bad that I was not seeing a Tempest soon. So I just should have sent it instantly and have a bad one. That is just the advantage of prepping your stuff before. If I had a Tempest going into this fight, I could have instantly pumped. Now it's just scuffed. It is simply just scuffed, and I was not sure what to do with the situation. I'm also not getting lucky on refunds or something. If you get a lot of refunds at the start, it helps you build it up quicker. And it's also fine then. And now this is the point where I should have just used Doom Winds, but I didn't. I don't know why. Sometimes I'm just inting as well. I think I pop it a bit later now, at some point. Yeah. No, this was a proc. I failed to interrupt. I should fix my nameplates. This is getting really dangerous. The shield will come now, and we get it. It will be tight for the healer, so I will pop last the moment we get it. In terms of cooldown, this fight is actually weird. I don't like it at all. It's one of the hardest fights in the current patch, I would say. Because since I'm somewhat pugging, like not always playing with the same people, it's just hard to coordinate stuff with this. We change routes often, so we not always have the same cooldown timings and stuff. I'm actually not sure how you want to pop on this. In your pug run, if it lines up, it's surely good to pop into the burst. Or let's say in a lower key, it's not needed to have cooldowns for the guys. But if they live too long, it's just fucky. On this as well, on this fight again, it's really good. Now my Tempest is and my P, so I'm sitting on my P-Wave a bit, so I have to hurry up. It's really good again if you have Tempest ready. So try to prepare your Tempest for your P-Wave. You apply a rod to all of those guys, so everyone takes extra damage from a Tempest. This is really important, because on higher keys you really cannot underestimate how much damage you actually have to do to the ads. Now your 18 run, you also pop cooldown on those every time, and we basically never pop in intermission. So I'm sitting on this Tempest again. I'm pulling for the next one. I think I'll wait till I get it, since I'm close. Oh, I just popped and got lucky. I sent 2 Tempests into this lightning rods. Now I get a random PI, probably because I used Doom Winds, and this guy has it on Doom Winds, not a sentence. So just here. It's 99% of priests don't know how to play the spec, or at least how to handle PI. So you just get PI on Doom Winds, which is just not good. Or your DK gets PI on single target even, which is also not good. In AOE you should give it to him anyway, but on bosses you're the one that gets it. But of course on a silence and not on Doom Winds. On the Doom Winds it's just not cutting it. On this one, for example, here I had 2 Tempests out, I had P-Wave out, 2 Tempests coming. I could have popped Trinket. This would be perfectly fine to send it here. Then have it again for the pull after, because I'm not going to pop cooldowns on the pull after. So I could have popped Trinket here, Trinketed pull after, and then have it back up later for in 2 pulls. But I decided to keep it. I tried to pull some Tempests again before I pop my stuff. It would have been better if I had done this before already. I kept my Tempest ready. Then pop CDs, pop Ascendance, send some more Wind Strikes. Put the Tempests out. I should have kept the Peace Storm for the guy itself, but maybe it would have run out before the damage amp actually hits. So I think it was fine to pop it like this. What I'm going to do now is, here I actually managed to prep my next Tempest. I sent Chain Lightnings now, even though the boss is basically dead. Because of that I don't want to pop my Tempest, and I managed to just get out my Tempest progress towards, oh shit, one button. I get my Tempest progress set up in a way, then I'm close to the next one, right? I'm a bit lucky because the other guys are sandbagging so much, so I still managed to get it, even though the boss is basically dead. I pop my P-Wave because it gives me Maelstrom. Next pull is going to need a bit of setup anyway. I pop one more Chain Lightning. And I still managed to get some more hits out. It's actually amazing how long the boss took to... Fucking hell. How long the boss took to die. It's at 1.6 million HP. No, it's at 60 million HP. It's going down so slowly. Alright. So what's happened here is my Tempest is... I have a Tempest up. My Tempest progress is really good. I still have a Wolf running, so I get some extra Maelstrom. The Vigor is inaccurate. So you see here, it says 9, spend 9. And I have 6, and it will extend. But what the Vigor does is basically it tells you when your latest Tempest is coming, because it's just not working properly in a way you would expect it. It's just never accurate. In most of the times, it's reliable in a way that if you spend 9 Maelstrom or less, you will get your Tempest. So I'm lucky somewhat. I would say that my 6 Maelstrom is enough to extend it. I wait because the tank is and the healer is doing the box. I use a Healing Surge now, and I managed to extend my Tempest. So it's a really good setup. Then I forgot we don't actually want to go up there. We're going down there. So my cooldowns are really good because the pull upstairs is dangerous. I'm not going to pop on this one. It's just an annoying setup. I blast a little bit too early. The tank didn't manage to get too much accurate. The pack just came in, right? And it's not stacked. So I kinda have to pop soon, but I should have delayed a little bit more. This is really dangerous. He's running there, not in melee, and blasting those guys now. It's good that he's gripping them. We have those two guys outside, so this is not great. I played my rods already, sent the first Tempest. Going to send the second one as well. I think that's the moment I get aggro of at least one guy, yeah. Then I pop my Doom Winds and send the Peace Storm, and I get aggro of some more, I think. No, actually it was just the one guy. He's handling it pretty well on this one. He's not having all of them, but the post setup is just not great. It's just not in favor for him. I'm complaining a bit now that one guy is still outside. We're not moving the pack well, in my opinion. And we're also not getting it in. I think the DK grips him now, but he grips him to a shitty position. Yeah, he grips him there. Which is alright, but the tank is not moving on top because of all of the zones. You need some coordinated stops on those guys. They're reloading. If you disrupt them while they're reloading, they make the whole reload cast again. So you just make everyone shoot once, and then you CC them. Alternate your CCs on them. Which is easy in a coordinated group, but not so easy in a pack. So I absolutely don't want to pop on this pull. It's dead now anyway. But even if it had a bit more health, I just wanted to keep it for next pull. Now I try to set up my Tempest. I'm not going to spend this one, I think. I'm hitting with Chain Lightning. No, actually. I did extend it. Well, whatever. I guess I thought my Tempest progress is fine enough. Which is actually the case. It is alright. I could have gone into next pull with one Tempest more. But even with one Tempest less, threat is going to be an issue on this ball anyway. Here's the Voltaic Blaze bug. That I can explain to you as well. You may have encountered it or have been wondering why the fuck does my Voltaic Blaze not do anything. The problem is I hit them with Voltaic Blaze, but I did it while jumping. I think they're not in line of sight right now. It's an issue with line of sight and turning around. If you do Voltaic Blaze, it does the damage, but if you're not looking at the mobs, it does not apply the Flame Shock. So if you turn around too fast or something, there will be no Flame Shocks, which is not terrible on this one. Anyway, I want them on the upper ones, but yeah, was just an example for it. You always want to do the kick on this guy. I try to snipe it. It gives you shadow damage reduction, so it's really nice to have. Yeah, this ball is dangerous as fuck. I don't know why a lot of people do it like this in pugs even. It's the most dangerous ball of the dungeon in my opinion. Especially for aggro, it's the worst, because those guys come in a bit later and those guys from downstairs come in even later. It is horrible for the tank to gather. Had a rot on one of them as well now. So I pop as usual, I pop my Peace Storm, send my Tempest, then I pop my cooldowns, try to get out more Tempest, generate a third one, then at some point I think I pop my Doom Winds here. Spend on Chain Lightning. If you're capped and you want to crash, you should spend on Chain Lightning first. So if you have to crash, make sure your Maelstrom is empty, basically, or not full. It's really dangerous for me, I'm basically dead. I just don't know it yet. Then I pop my Peace Storm and get the fuck out. I have a chance to live. I don't know how I lived it. Somehow did. I have to hit a bit on range. Maybe I'm thinking that I can go in again. Maybe I can tank this one mob. I don't know. Aggro is just a mess. And you should, if you're playing Shaman, just make a ticket every day. And Flame Blizzard Day should fix threat in this game. It is not a mechanic that belongs into this game. It absolutely makes no sense. It's not fun to play. It doesn't add any value to the game. And it should just be straight up removed. Or let's say completely reworked. Or just give all tanks a threat multiplier of 5000% or something, so nobody can ever wreck aggro. There's no reason for it to be like this. Alright, on this one, doesn't really matter how long this setup takes. I saved the Tempest again, got my Maelstrom, so with my next Healing Surge I'm going to extend it. I try to be smart here and trigger the boss already. Turns out to be almost the biggest mistake of this run, because they're not acting. So we tank the back here. I'm trying to tell them, but we are not really moving away. Like, okay, he gripped. That's what happened. He put his sigil to grip them, but the guy put down a vortex, so they countered each other. This was not a good one on my part. Like the pull is scuffed. It happens to me often, too often, in my opinion. That I not having attention on my Peace Storm. This is the downside of trying to ramp it up with Tempest every time. You always want to pop it as late as possible, but because I'm focused on the pull, I could have done one more global here, but I got scared and I sent it with like 7 Maelstrom stacks because I did it late. This is just not optimal. You should always send it with 10. It's your hardest, by far hardest hitting ability. And the difference between sending it with 5 or 10 is immense. So you should always try to do that. But you will see, even if you watch my stream, you will catch me at least once per key. At least once per key, which is already a lot, you might think, that I scuff my Peace Storm. Something that you also should not sleep off nowadays here is your Voltaic Blaze. It does a lot of damage, especially on like 5-6 target pulls where it's not above its target cap. You should prioritize sending your your Voltaic Blaze outside of cooldowns at least. That means outside of your lightning rods and outside of Ascendance and Doom Winds. You should prioritize your Voltaic Blaze really high. Doesn't matter if you're capped, just send it. It just does a lot of damage. It doesn't matter really if, like, it's not a big loss if you don't do it. But yeah, people just tend to sleep on it too much. It's one of your hardest hitting abilities. It just doesn't benefit the Maelstrom cycle, that's all. Here you can see I Again, stack Tempests on this bowl. I didn't send them late anymore. Here, I'm keeping them already. I think one more I do send. No, actually not. Oh, actually, yes. I also send a Peace Storm late. Peace Storm is not essential on boss bowl or something. Its Tempest and Haste is really good for cooldowns, of course, but it's not absolutely essential to have. So if it helps you kill the pack, finish off the pack, and keeps your Tempest in a good way, that is way more important than having the Haste. So this one, it's basically perfect. You're almost coming in your pants when you see this. Sorry. 2 Tempests pre-stacked, 20 to the next one, and the fourth one coming from Awakening Storm. It's just, it cannot be better. The only thing it would be better would if we have Pot and Bloodlust on pull, they would do like 6 million DPS for 20 seconds or something, but this is already close to perfect. Set up your stuff, pop your cooldown, send out a Tempest, even if it lets stacks. It doesn't matter too much in single target. It's not nice, of course, but we just don't have the generation to go for the full Maze Shaman on this. You just want the buffs for now. So you send out one, pop your Doom Winds into Ascendance, and yeah, press Wind Strike 15 times. Have fun. Yeah, on this, Peace Storm P-Wave came late. I still want to send it. I wanted to benefit from the walls as much as possible, so I put it out. And I gamble. I gamble on every time you spend Maelstrom, right, your chance asset has a chance to proc your Doom Winds. That's what I'm doing. I gamble here a bit on the proc, and I actually got it on my last Wind Strike. On my last Wind Strike, I got it, so I still have 4 wolves. This one is running out. But still 3 wolves, and I got a free Doom Winds. That's when I sent my Peace Storm. A big benefit of gambling on this. So I made the correct decision there, I would say. Yeah, then it's this fight. I don't know. AG would be great here. But what you get is Healing Stream, which does, yeah, absolutely nothing. I'm not even sure why I have it skilled. I guess on this fight it's alright, because it heals. And it also gives you nature damage reduction if it heals you. And I think this shit is nature damage. I actually never checked, but I would just assume so. And it's nature damage. So yeah, it helps a little bit on this fight, but it's the only one. And it's still not great. AG would be a lot better. Yeah. What's happening now? I'm not sure anymore if I pop my Doom Winds now. I think I keep it for the Peace Storm. Yeah. This is when I pop my Doom Winds. Nothing really special going on now. I think I got lucky and managed to squeeze through both waves. Keep the Trinket here and single target absolutely for your next cooldowns. Next will be with Lust as well. I think I should start pulling my Tempest soon. I already did a Chain Lightning there, but I think I should send out one more. No, it was actually fine. My generation is not too great. I'm pulling with Chain Lightnings at this point. I almost completely hinted it there, but I'm so glad I lived. I sent out my stuff a little bit early because I got scared. Because I got pushed back there. Here, didn't see the wave. It was really dangerous and I panicked a bit. I popped my stuff already, even though I didn't have to. Because my sentence is still a bit away. But yeah, it is fine. Because... Wait, oh fuck, I think I actually lost the Tempest there. Because I greeted too much. Let me see again. I want to know it for myself. I have 3 Awakening Storm stacks, 11 left. What do I do? I send Peace Storm. Oh, I press Tempest. Alright, so it's fine. I press Tempest and I get 2 instantly. Got 2 stacks from 1 Tempest. If I wouldn't have sent it, I would have lost 1. And then I pop my Ascendance a bit delayed. Again, it's in single target. You want to have your Doom Winds for Ascendance. It is advised to sync it up in single target. But if you have to decide between Tempest and Doom Winds, you go for Tempest. That's simply the idea. It is not the most important thing, because it doesn't really matter what it buffs, right? It buffs, it gives you Stormstrike resets and it gives you Windstrike resets. I guess Windstrike resets with the 25% Stormblast damage and whatever is a bit more favorable, but it's not important. So if you have stuff running, if you have Tempest running, you definitely don't want to drop the Tempest buffs. That's why you just send. And I gamble again. I try to do it as late as possible to just maybe get a proc on Doomwinds. I didn't this time, but it's perfectly fine. And please don't sue me if you also do this now and failure and lose some Peace Storms. It will happen to you. If you gamble on late Peace Storm with extra Tempest or Doomwinds proc, you will lose some. As I said before, I lose at least one every key, I would say. So use this strat at your own risk. It is really good to do, but you have to be careful. Because you can also, it can happen in single target that you just run dry. Right? If you're not lucky with refunds, outside of Lust in Ascendance, sometimes you're just sitting on 5 stacks of Maelstrom the whole time and not going to get it up. That's why sending it early can be helpful. Alright, now is a scuffed skip. Like we try to skip the Blood Boy, but the tank fails it. No, the healer fails. He dies to the thing. I don't know. He's jumping. I don't know what was going on. I know we wiped it once. Then I'm being retarded here, and we play it. Not really interesting here. It's just annoying. Like, this is the worst thing that can happen to you. I can talk about this again. I got a solid progress, right? It would be insane for the next pull. I use the Healing Surge, I think. No, I don't use it. 3 stacks, Tempest progresses, via Maelstrom is good. But I lose that. I'm not sure why the Vigor resets. Like why the Tempest progress resets. That should not. Oh, because this is actually funny. This is what I hate about the Vigor. Look at how off it is. It says 3 stacks Awakening Storms and 26 stacks of Maelstrom left to be spent. But I get a double Tempest on my next Chain Lightning, my next Lightning Bolt. This I did not expect it. 1 from Awakening Storm and 1 from Maelstrom spent. Like, Blizzard absolutely needs to do something about this. Like, there's no weak aura and no in-game way to check your Tempest progress. And this is the essence of this whole hero tree, is to play around your Tempest. There's no proper way to track it right now. We only have this weak aura and it's not flawless, simply. It's off way too often in my opinion, but I'm not the guy to fix it. I have no clue how to do it. You just have to live with it. So now this is an absolute disaster for your damage. This is the worst thing that can happen to you. Just got Tempest and your progress is at 0. So at this point you can just log out. But I can't, of course. Yeah, I don't know what to do. You have 2 options now. You either just sit there, pop your P-Wave early and build up to the next Tempest. And then pop later. Or you instantly send your stuff. But both is shit in an actual run. Both is shit. In terms of damage on this pull, it is better to build at least up 1 direct damage and get a second one. Because the Ascended is just going to a lot more damage. Like, this is the advised way to handle it. Look at me dancing here. The advised way to handle it is to never pop an Ascendant dry. It's just not worth it. It is going to feel ass. But you can't do anything about it. This is the biggest downside of this spec, is that it's solely reliant on your setup. And that's why I also recommend Totemic for players that just like it more, or are new to the game, or not pushing, or like just playing Pakis or whatever. It's just way easier to keep Totemic consistent. You're just way more resistant to fuck ups. If you die on Totemic, the worst case that can happen is that you just place your totem and you don't have it. But even then, if you play with Totemic Recall, you can just recall it and get another one. That's just your face safe backup. On Storm, if you die in cooldowns or or you lose your damage, your Tempest, it's just over. Alright, this is one of the pulls where I overpopped, I think, and really struggled with aggro. Not sure, I prep 2 tempests. Send them out. Get 2 tempests inside of the rods. And the beast storm later. And it's hurting. No, actually the tank has fine aggro. Tank is doing good on this one. This is actually not the worst puck tank experience I had so far. Right, this is pretty fine. In terms of threat at least. He's not the greatest at stacking the packs. And questionable decisions. He knows the route. He knows we're going to play another pull. But he insists on finishing this guy. Like, this is a 16 key. You think that people are not the worst here. But this, finishing this guy, is an absolute disaster in terms of playing a plus. Like, there's absolutely no gain on killing a mob that does nothing. Nobody of our specs has to drop combat. DK and me, we want to chain as much as possible. It's just bad for us. DK has to manage his extents on the guy. When he doesn't know exactly when we're going to continue. And for me, I don't want to pop anything on it. I'll keep it on this. On this one I have to pop early because my tempests are running out. And I have overpot as fuck. I potted as well. I used Racial. I didn't have Trinket. But I sent early. And now I'm going to struggle with aggro for the rest of the pool. And it's not his fault. It is... I mean, number one who's at fault is Blizzard. But I can't change this, so it's my fault. I have to play around it. But I don't. I just popped. So I have aggro for the whole pull. And I cannot even blame him. Because the inspectors also jump outside. And he has no chance of getting aggro on them. While I have a run on them. And I generate threat the whole time. So this is just my mistake. I can still complain about it. In the end it's my mistake. Alright, nothing going on really on these guys. So I think it's getting pretty long, so I'm just going to skip. Again, you want to pull your tempests. I'm sending chain lightnings. I want to have the more boss pull because my cooldowns are coming up. This is a pretty good setup again. 2 tempests at ready. The next one guaranteed on the first spend. Send one before. Don't get an extend. Pop cooldowns. And hit wind strike like a maniac. Here, send my Peace Storm early. No, not really early. It had to send it because 2 minutes was running out. So this was fine. Yeah. This is kinda boring, I would say. We've seen some boss fights before, so there's not a lot to see here. Just try to always keep uptime on it. You don't... You can do the orbs late. I can show you that, I guess. It's worth a look if you're already here. I don't know why the healer died. So you spawn the orbs here. I should have stick to the boss a bit more. There's actually no hurry in doing this. So you can keep 100% melee uptime. The DK is... This is not smart what he did. He immuned the orb with AMS. This is a full int in my opinion. This is the absolute worst thing you can do on this fight. Is use AMS on the orb. You should always use it on the... Giga Zaps. So now he even gets it and has no AMS. Like it's just terrible. There's no way to sweet dog it. It's just the worst thing you can do. Now the worst, I don't know, most awkward thing is going to happen. I'm going to die. I checked it before already. I'm not sure why. He finished the cast and I randomly take damage. I took damage from... Like the damage you would take when you take a line. That's what the damage I took at the start. I don't know why. So I'm going to die here. It's not great. I was really confused. Going to Ank right after rebuff. I'm not sure if I get rebuffed there, guys. Was confused checking death recap, so I died to the ground. For no reason. Now we can skip again. I guess. Take the zap with shift. That's where you should pop defensive. Always on the thing that hits you the most. Again, did I prep with chain lightning? Yeah, I did a few chain lightnings. My setup is pretty lucky. I got a tempest running. I get one from Awakening Storm. The next one from spending is also there. I extended with a Storm Strike, so I cannot spend with Chain Lightning now. I have to spend with Lightning Bolt next, which is fine though, because my cooldowns are here. We just not have Lust yet, but the guy has to BI for healing anyway, so I just decide to pop as well. Lust would not get full duration anyway. The key is depleted at this point. Pop my stuff again, send one Tempest before, pop 2 mins, pop a Sand, and just hit Windstrike. Do your Peace Storm, never do it instantly, basically. You could, like a lot of people think to pop it before Ascendance or early or now, but there's no reason to. I have one Tempest coming now, I send it out. I got another Tempest right in, I send it out. I got 3 woes, it's perfect. I'm on 10 Maelstrom, and I send Peace Storm. I could have sent earlier. The only thing you have to keep an eye on, basically, on when to send is your Tempest Roggers. If you get a new one soon, delay it a bit. If you're 5 away from the next one, just send it to be safe. Yeah, this is it, I think. We just managed to deplete the key. Alright, this is my review run, my commentary run for 1 M+16 Floodgate. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As mentioned at the start, I'm planning to do a proper guide in the near future. It's just an idea with no cutting or whatever. Just get a feeling for it. I cannot tell you when exactly I'm going to be done with that. I didn't start yet. I will start on the weekend, I hope. But yeah, I hope you can make use of this and learn something from this run already until I go into more detail on a fully set up guide, and hopefully it will not be as long as this one, because what the fuck, this took some time. Alright, see you another time, boys, and bye bye.